Mind of the Meanie is now an exclusive brand partner with WWEshop.com. Pick up all your favorite new merchandise from Roman Reigns.
Acknowledge me.
Cody Rhodes.
I have to finish the story.
LA Knight.
Let me talk to you.
And more using our exclusive link in the show notes. Click below and show your support today for your favorite WWE superstar at WWEshop.com.
Yeah.
This is the Mind of the Meanie. Here are your hosts, the Blue Meanie and Adam Barnard.
Peace world and welcome to the Mind of the Meanie, your weekly peek into the world according to former WWE superstar and ECW original, the Blue Meanie. We'll cover wrestling, music, movies, sports, and lots of useless knowledge all contained in the Mind of the Meanie. I'm your tour guide, Adam Barnard, and he is the Blue Meanie. Meanie, what's on your mind?
Coffee. Lots and lots of coffee, my friend.
Mm-hmm.
How are you? How are you doing, sir?
I'm good, man. I'm good. It's a beautiful.
See you, man.
It's
good to see you.
It is always good to see you here on this program and chat with you each and every week. It's a beautiful.
Yes.
It's a cloudy day here in Downingtown, but it's not a bad day.
Is it?
So, did you get a chance to see the Northern Lights this morning?
No.
Yeah.
Because it fucking was cloudy here in South Philly, and I was severely fucking angry that I never get to see the cool shit.
Yep. My buddy.
I've always wanted to see the Northern Lights. My whole fucking life, I want to see these Northern Lights. They're Aurora Borealis. I have made plans in my head to travel to as far as north as fucking Alaska to see these things with my naked eyes. Sorry. And I had a chance to see him in South Philly, and nope. Fucking rain and clouds. But I lived vicariously through other people's social media feeds and enjoyed them like a dickhead, you know. I didn't get to see it. But apparently, like, the best way to see it was through your cell phone, like if you took a photo of the sky for some reason. But
yeah,
it's still kind of, I still want to see the Northern Lights. It's like just something I've always wanted to see, and oh boy.
Yeah.
But then again, I've always heard stories of people who've like tried to travel to like Iceland.
Yeah.
And they spend thousands of dollars, go to Iceland or whatever, and see them, and it ends up being cloudy and raining the whole entire time. So at least, I didn't see them, but I didn't have to travel to Iceland, even though I just told you I want to travel to Alaska to see them. So
my buddy,
I don't know.
My buddy Andrew Raber, and this is for the pod squad here in patreon.com/Mind of the Meanie. My buddy Andrew Raber lives in Colorado. He's a photographer, and he got a really solid shot of him and his dog looking out early this morning to the Northern Lights. Just fucking gorgeous. So thank you for sharing that.
Postcard.
Andrew.
That's like a postcard right there.
Yeah, dude, he's got incredible fucking his photography work is just unbelievable. I'm trying to pull up his account here to see what the name of it is so I can give him a shout so people can check it out. But he does all kinds of incredible like sky photography and like, he's incredible. But when I find it, if you're interested, Pod Squad and anyone listening, I will be happy to share that with you to give you the photographs there. But speaking of the Pod Squad, they're here with us today in full force. Little Jimmy, Triple OG is here.
Day one Jimmy.
That's right.
Jimmy, the Sorensen levels here.
That's right.
You got Lucha. I got my Blue Meanie coffee mug here.
Oh, shit.
It's an OG fucking coffee mug I got made. Initially, this was made for me. I'm blanking on the name. Give me 2 seconds here. David Todd Trost. Go to his Instagram at David Todd TODD Trost TROST. He made this for me years ago, and it was supposed to be for me to keep at McCuskers because on the back he puts "Hold my calls, McCuskers," and I said I love this mug, but if I leave it at McCusker's, it's going to break.
Yeah.
And, I had a bunch of cold. Dude, we buy fucking cold brew.
Yeah.
And like we'll drink like half and put it in the fridge, and there's like 20 fucking half drank fucking cold brews. It's like, you know what? Inside Baseball, it's May 11th, 1:38. This morning I did a show for Ad-Free Show Mornings with Meanie. And I was like, I should have a coffee cup. And Mrs. Meanie was like, well, you got this mug.
Oh, man,
it's a
there
mug
you go.
It's a mug with my mug on it. And I said, fuck it, I'll just pour my cold brew in that and sip that. And that's what I'm about to do right now. So cheers.
I love it, man. If you don't get a chance, first of all, if you're not signed up for ad-free shows, you should go and do that. If you call yourself a wrestling fan, you owe it to yourself to go. And they're not paying us to say this, by the way. They're not advertising in any way. I just love what they do so much. Go to adfreeshows.com. Sign up today. They have a ton of incredible content. Lots of great shows. You get 83 Weeks with Eric Bischoff. You get Something to Wrestle with Bruce Pritchard, Jeff Jarrett. Just the list goes on, and now including mornings.
I love Jeff Jarrett, man.
I got a little beef with him now since he called me Slapnuts, on our 200th episode. But, Jeff, I appreciate double J, sir, if I may, double, if I can call you by your first name. I don't appreciate that, but I don't want to get hit with a guitar. So I'm going to go ahead and leave it where it's at, sir. So, no, you go check it out. Mornings with Meanie is every Saturday morning at 10 a.m., right? You go 10 a.m., you go live.
11 a.m.
11 a.m., and you go live.
But there might be times where we have to go a little earlier. So just stay with, if you're a member of Ad-Free Shows, they will post the times, the appropriate times. I know I agreed to do this venture with them. But then I realized I also have some bookings, and there's like some family trips where I'll be able to do them from on location,
right?
Like if we're going to Mrs. Meanie's, I can bang out an episode from up there, but every Saturday morning, 11 a.m. Maybe sometimes 9 a.m. I don't know. But I've talked to them about this, and they're cool with it. So, but
that's awesome.
The fact that anybody wants to give me a platform, it's one thing to start my own podcast and say, "Oh, yes, people want to listen to me talk," but for another company to say, "Hey, Meanie would be good for a platform," that's a high honor, and they are the go-to for wrestling podcasts. They're a great. A podcast network, always cranking out material. So the fact that they wanted me on there, and they always give mine and DeMeanie love. Yeah. Conrad has always shouted us out on different podcasts, stuff like that. So it's very cool. Very cool.
Yeah, it's a great platform. I can't rep them enough. Conrad has been a big supporter of mine since I started in the wrestling sphere, and he's always, like you said, always giving love to the show, always helping us out. So go and help us out by going and checking out Mornings with Meanie every Saturday. Right now, as of 11 a.m., may change, but at adfreeshows.com. And Meanie, I want to talk to you about some crazy things that have been happening in the world, since we've last spoke.
Yes.
I guess before we get to that, I wanted to ask you. I remember I didn't get a chance to watch the Bon Jovi documentary, but I understand it's very good. This Thank You, Good Night. Is that right? Is that the name of it, as I'm thinking of?
Yeah, man. Me and Mrs. It's an easy watch, too. Me and Mrs. Meanie just went through the new Bon Jovi documentary called Thank You, Good Night. It's a 4-parter that's on Hulu. Hulu's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And what I have to say about it's a very well done documentary. Like, and I always I judge documentaries on how I like it, but like, I have friends who are diehard Bon Jovi fans, and I get their pulse on it. It's like, it would be like somebody asking me about something Van Halen related.
Right.
Like Dougie McCusker from McCuskers is a huge Bon Jovi fan. So, and he loved it. And I was like, well, I got to watch it. And I loved it too. And it, the one thing about Bon Jovi is apparently they've always been like super secretive, like a secret thing. They got their own kayfabe,
Right.
their own brand of kayfabe, and they open up a lot in this documentary, and it's like a lot of things I never knew that I was like, holy shit,
Wow.
And growing up in Philly, living in Jersey, being maybe like an hour and a half from them, and just getting that sense of like closeness, because there's a lot of Philly in that documentary. There's a lot of things, Philly related. I don't want to give too much away. I don't want to be that guy that tells you the whole fucking thing. And then you're like, well, great. Now I don't have to watch it.
Right.
But there's a lot of, Philly, of course I'm the unapologetic Philly guy here. I'll suck Philly's dick on the front lawn, and I don't give a shit. From behind too.
Give him the Western grip to keep the thumb free for exploration. Is what that is. Yeah. That's the Philly love right there.
Learn something new. I'm going to freshen my technique. It's great documentary. 4-parter, easy to watch. There's a couple things where he seemed to on a Jersey Transit train to Philly. I'm like, dude, he takes public transportation. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's wild, man. That's wild to think. It's wild to think about.
Yeah, but growing up in the area, it's like Springsteen and the Jovi were like the two things that two of the biggest things coming out in New Jersey. And Bruce makes an appearance in the documentary too, because their paths cross too. So I always could considered John Bon Jovi like the early years Aquanet Springsteen, kind of like And that's the thing. Like when I moved to Ohio to train with Al to become a wrestler, and they're like, "Oh, you're from Jersey. What's the deal with Bruce Springsteen?" I'm like, "Well, what's not to like about?"
Yeah.
Look, I'm not the biggest Bruce Springsteen fan, but I like Bruce.
Yeah,
and he's a good storyteller. Like he is the working man's rock guy. New Jersey has Bruce Springsteen. Indiana has John Cougar Mellencamp. They're the blue collar storytellers, of the music era. And Bon Jovi was that way too, they romanticized, just growing up on the streets of Jersey and stuff like that. And Bruce, singing about the working man in Jersey, who can't relate? You just change it from Jersey to wherever you live. Everybody knows somebody's worked in a factory.
Yeah, everybody's got the small town Jones. You know what I mean? Like everybody can relate to that. I think that's why those guys have been so successful, though, is because they hit a segment of fans, and they hit a segment of America that people can totally relate to.
Yeah. And John's a likable guy, man.
Yeah.
I'm sure I've told the story like when I met John Bon Jovi. It was quite the experience. Growing up in Atlantic City, we got a lot of the big, fights. There's the Tyson fight, and then there's Foreman fights, and then the legendary Ward Gotti trilogy happened in Atlantic City.
Mm-hmm.
But there was the Holyfield Foreman fight that was in Atlantic City. And one day, dude, where I lived in Atlantic City, I could look out my window and look at Trump Plaza. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to take a walk. It's like a 3 or 4 block walk down to where Trump Plaza was. So I walked down there, and they don't have like a red carpet situation, but they have these like, the barricades, set up, where people stood on each side of the barricade, and, celebrities walk through and, and stuff like that. and fucking Luther Campbell from Two Live Crew walks through.
Well, Uncle Luke came through. No shit.
Yeah. Bruce Smith from the Buffalo Bills walked through. Everybody's like, hey, so I'm standing there on this like Fugazi red carpet type thing. And out of corner of my eye, my periphery, my right eye, my good eye, I see fucking John Bon Jovi, just fucking casually walking behind me, like trying not to be noticed, like he's being slick, right? And I'm like, holy shit, there's John Bon Jovi, right? And dude, I'm a teenager, I'm a rock guy, so I said, fuck it, I followed him in, right? So I walk in, he's going into, this is at Trump Plaza. I'm walking into the lobby at Trump Plaza, and he gets fucking mobbed. Like zombie. It's like a zombie movie. Like people just, swarm him. And he's like, oh shit. And he's signing autographs. You see him putting his hand on his forehead like, oh man, I'm never going to get to where I got to go.
I missed the goddamn fight now. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the fight was in the convention hall next door, but I don't know what he was going to try. Like maybe he thought you could get to the fight through there. I don't know. But he walked in, he just got fucking swarmed, right? So he retreats. He's like, oh fuck, I gotta get out of here.
Yeah.
He was not budging. So he makes his way back to his limo. And I go up to the limo. I'm just like looking in like the dinosaur from fucking Jurassic Park. And he gets stuck at a red light. John Bon Jovi. The Jove. And he, while he's at the red light, he rolls down this window and he starts signing autographs and shit like that. And I snap a photo. Blah, blah, blah. It's like, and then a light bulb went off in my fucking head. I was like, I know exactly where he's going. I know where the fucking Jovi's going. Right?
We're tracking the Jove.
Yeah. So I know he's about to make a left at the fucking traffic light. He's going to go past the convention center where the fight actually is. And then the limo's going to make that left to where there was a casino there that used to be the Playboy Casino in Atlantic City. And then it became Atlantis. But then it became like a Trump casino. I forget which one it was. I was like, he's going there. So I run in the opposite. Imagine, if you ever want to see me run now, it's because there's probably a pack of fucking wild pit bulls behind me. That's the only way you're going to get me running today. But I ran. I'm still a teenager. I was, quote unquote, in my youth. I run back towards Trump Plaza, run up to the boardwalk. I run the front of the Atlantic City Convention Center, and I make the right, knowing that he's making the left up the same fucking street, right?
Right.
So I'm running down. I'm like, oh, there's a limo. Oh, he's not in it. I run into the fucking casino. Well, into the hotel lobby. I run past the fucking check-in desk. There's the fucking elevators. And I see his beautiful lock of hair about to go into an elevator. And I'm just like, I'm fucking blown up. I just fucking ran. I'm just like, John Bon Jovi! John Bon Jovi! Yeah, John! And I want to go over to him, but
just John Bon Jovi.
John Bon Jovi!
John Bon Jovi.
I'm almost there, living on a prayer. John Bon Jovi!
Vomiting wildly, spittle and everything.
Yeah, I can't even say Bon at this point. I'm just like, Jovi!
It's just a series of grunts and noises.
Yeah. And
Oh my God.
the only thing between me and the Jovi is this security guard.
Mm-hmm.
This lady, she's like, "Sir, do you have a room key?" I'm like, "But there's John Bon Jovi." There's the Jovi. She's like, "Sir, do you have a room key?" So he hears this. How could he not?
Of course. Yeah.
And it's just me.
It's just it's the biggest family.
It's not a pack of anybody. It's just this blonde, mulleted, sweaty, out of breath, blown up dork calling out to the Jovi. And I look, and the Jovi looks at me, looks into the elevator where his wife Dorothea was, and goes, "1 second." And his wife held the elevator for him. He comes over. So, "John, can I have a photo?" And John was kind enough to ask the security guard, "Hey, can you take a photo?" Took a photo of us. And I have to send you the photo for but it's me, it's John, and he's a handsome son of a bitch, you know, and he's got the hair and is in a suit, and he's just like, and then I'm sitting there like, I'm like, I'm just like, and fucking, it's like that movie, Better Off Dead, when the fat kid gives the French girl an 8x10 framed photo for Christmas. She looks at it and just goes out in the lawn and fucking laughs. That was me. But John was like kind enough. I was like, "Oh, thank you, Bon Jovi. Thank you, Jovi. Thank you, John Bon Jovi."
I mean, like, I can't even. How blown up were you? Like, quantify it. Were you like, were you huffing and puffing bad?
I was just, because if I was smart, if I had realized it maybe 30 seconds sooner, I wouldn't have had to run as fast.
Oh, wow.
Like, he was stuck at a red light. I could have just went, "Oh, I know where he's going," and maybe even briskly walked around.
Right.
But like, I started my sprint as the limo was making its left onto the thing. So he probably might have got another red light, Pacific Ave there in Atlantic City. And then by the time he got to make the left up the thing and going up to wherever, this casino was, I could have just, not have been as winded. But, I was just like, yeah. Yeah. So, I met both guys. I met Richie Sambora too.
Oh, really?
Ironically, at Trump Plaza as well, but I didn't have to run.
Yeah. Was it the same event or something different?
Something different. And this is might have been a couple of years ago. WMMR here in Philadelphia.
That's right.
93.3 WMMR rocks. Here in Philly. They used to do like a week down the shore at Trump Plaza, the Morning Zoo, John DeBella.
Mm-hmm.
And I went a couple of years in a row. It was like, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. And the one week they had Richie Sambora, who was doing his solo record, Stranger in This Town. And, he came out and did an interview with John DeBella. And then after the thing, after the radio broadcast, I'm leaving and go down escalator to the lobby, the same lobby where I had seen John Bon Jovi get mauled, Walking Dead style with a bunch of zombies, and there was Richie Sambora standing there in the lobby, and I went, and it was the polar opposite of when I met John Bon Jovi. John Bon Jovi. And, John Jovi. I was like, very Dom DeLuise.
I understood that reference. Yes.
Yes.
God.
Thank God somebody gets my references.
Hey, that's why we work good together, pal. That's why we're a good team.
Yes, sir. I was like, Mr. Sambora. Oh, Richie. May I take a photo? I was totally not as flabbergasted as John, but Richie was so cool.
That's awesome, man.
Took a photo, really nice photo. And dude, man, nothing John Bon Jovi and Richie Sambora were so good together.
Mm-hmm.
As far as duos go, just because Richie can sing.
Yeah.
Like, everybody, breaks my balls about liking Van Halen, even when Michael Anthony was in the band, it was Wolfgang. Michael Anthony's vocals with, I was like, yeah, but Wolfie's good too. But seriously, Bon Jovi, John's voice is great.
Yeah.
But something about him and Richie Sambora together was so perfect. And
why did Richie Sambora leave the band?
They cover it in the documentary.
Oh, okay.
And I don't want to kind of give it away. But even and Richie sits down for an interview with this documentary.
Oh, really? They have one? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he's on there. But he's still kind of mysterious about it. There's still this, like I said, Bon Jovi has their own, kayfabe.
Yeah.
They're like a secret society, and they're about to launch a tour, and Richie went as far as going to the airport and sat in his limo and just never got on the plane. And he never really explains it.
Interesting.
I said I wasn't going to give it away, but there's still reasons given, but it's still not a clear photo, a clear picture of why, Richie never got on that plane, or why he had, the next time they saw him was at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Right.
Yeah. And it's a shame, but, and there's still time. They can still get back together, but, and if you get a chance, if you have Hulu, definitely check it out. There's a lot of things I did. Without going into it, I don't want to give it away. I want people to watch this documentary, but there's a lot of things I learned that I never knew.
Wow.
About the band. It's so cool. And, John's first band was a band called the Atlantic City Expressway, which was a cover band, which I never knew. I knew he had a band called Atlantic City Expressway, and they had archives. There's a lot of archival stuff on there. And they show John going through the archives and, digitizing stuff and stuff like that. But, it's really well done. If you're a music lover, even if you don't like even if you don't like Bon Jovi, watch it, because it's really well done. It's really in depth. And I learned a lot of stuff about it and came away with a new sense of respect too.
Yeah. It's definitely something I want to check out. Again, just even if it's just for the Philly Jersey connection there, I definitely want to check it out. It's on my list. But that is, I know that. Well, I was just reading here while you were talking about it. They still own together part of the Philadelphia Soul. I think it's the indoor arena football team. Him and Bon Jovi and Sambora. Football. Yeah. So I thought that was pretty dope. So obviously there probably isn't a ton of bad blood there. I'm just maybe, I don't know, curious to know what happened.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like one of those what you did type insinuations, but I don't know what Richie really doesn't go into it, and John doesn't really go into it, but you watch the documentary.
Yeah.
Watch the documentary. Give us some feedback.
Yeah. So again, the documentary is called "Thank You, Good Night." It's on Hulu right now.
4 1-hour episodes, which is really, really good to digest. Yeah. I could easily watched it all in one night, but we did 2 and 2.
Yeah.
Something like that. But I'm a documentary junkie.
Yeah.
I can watch documentaries on anything.
Yeah.
And
just literally let me get the Netflix algorithm set up for myself for the documentaries, and I'll watch anything. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Boston bombing marathon. Yeah, this is going to be terribly sad, but I'll watch it. Yeah, because it's a documentary. I'm fucking into it. So, any suggestions y'all have for us, please send them over because I'm always looking for new stuff because I run through stuff when I have an opportunity, whenever that time is, folding laundry or like if the kids are just sitting around and it's like, I want to put something on, and I can't stop. I'm the same way. Like I have to like get through the whole thing to be done. But speaking of bad blood and speaking of, you know what you did.
Bad medicine.
Bad medicine. And bad medicine is what I need. Well, actually, no, that would be a bad thing because then it wouldn't fix my, well, you get the idea. You know, Meanie?
What's that, Adam?
We hear this a lot. Every CBD company tells you that their product is the best. With quality control measures like lab testing and QR codes now becoming the standard, it can start to seem like all CBD brands are the same, but I'm here to tell you something, Meanie. They are not. Knowing what makes certain brands better will help you spend your money more wisely and have more confidence as you incorporate CBD oils, topicals, capsules, or gummies into your own wellness routine. And that's why we're proud to partner with Green Road CBD as an official sponsor of Mind of the Meanie. And Meanie, I know you're a longtime user of Green Road CBD. How has Green Road CBD helped you in your life?
Let me tell you, Green Road CBD is a product I've been using for years. And when we started Mind of the Meanie, I always was like, let's get Green Roads as a sponsor because I use them almost daily. Whether it's the gummies, to take care of the aches and pains of 30 years of wrestling, the topical solutions that help my knees, help my back, help my elbows, help my shoulders. Green Road CBD has done everything to help me maintain a pain-free existence from all the years of wear and tear as a professional wrestler.
And to me, Meanie, that sounds like the Green Road's difference. And it comes down to a really few important points. They're just part of the reason that they've won industry awards year after year, earned thousands of 5-star reviews, and have heard countless stories from customers just like you about the impact that those products have had on your life. So Green Roads is led by a compounding pharmacist with 25 years of experience helping her community getting healthy. For her and the entire company, it's more than just a job, it's a mission. And not all hemp sourcing is equal, Meanie. I'm not sure if you're aware of that. But they select their hemp from high-quality American farms, and also not all lab testing is equal, which is why they use an accredited independent lab to conduct full panel tests on every single batch. And that's why Green Roads is an original manufacturer, not just a quote-unquote white label brand. So right now, you can go to greenroads.com, Meanie, and save 25% off of your entire purchase. Wow. 25% off of everything, Meanie. That's huge. And all you have to do is go to their website right now, greenroads.com, and use promo code MEANIE at checkout. That's 25% off your entire purchase by using promo code MEANIE at greenroads.com. Own the day with Green Road CBD, and we thank them for sponsoring the program.
But anyway, I don't know if you've been following the news recently, sir, or in music world, but Kendrick Lamar and Drake have had a very big beef. Are you familiar in any way with the Kendrick Lamar-Drake beef? Are you familiar with the artists themselves? What do you know about it?
So here's what I know. I know their names. I know... I know of Kendrick Lamar. I know of Drake. I know more of Drake because he's the jerk off who was courtside when the Raptors played the 76ers in the playoffs, and he was acting like he was the fucking coach.
Yes.
And I know him from memes.
Yeah.
The whole, when the guy's doing the hand to the side, and then when he's doing, I know that stuff. And I know he was like, maybe a child actor or something like that.
Yes, he used to be on a show called Degrassi, The Next Generation. He played Jimmy, little Jimmy. We have our own little Jimmy here. So
our little Jimmy's better.
Yeah, our little Jimmy's way better than that little Jimmy.
Our little Jimmy will fuck up your little Jimmy.
That's right. That's exactly right. So he was on the show. Yeah. He was on the show for many years, and then he became a rapper. At some point, he started to really get popular, like 2009, 2010, with Rick Ross and that whole scene. And Kendrick Lamar records for, at least at some point he recorded, I think he still does, he's signed to Aftermath Entertainment, which is Dr. Dre's label. So he's worked with Eminem and those guys, and he's very, very popular. Won a Pulitzer for his album Damn, for the Pulitzer for music. Yeah, it's a fantastic listen.
And so they've been trading shots for a very, very long time to each other.
So what was the jumping off point for this beef?
So you're actually going to be surprised to hear this, because this is where Adam's useless hip hop.
You're schooling me. I'm learning something right now.
This is where Adam's useless hip hop knowledge comes into play.
Please.
This beef actually goes all the way back to the early aughts, to the very early aughts. I actually got to pull up the date and see when this song came out.
The naughty Audis.
That's right. There was a record that came out in 2002, which featured Birdman from the Big Timers and Cash Money Millionaires. Do you remember the Cash Money Lil Wayne guys? Okay. And it featured the Clips.
I've heard of them.
The Clips is a group that they used to rap together. It's Pusha T and Malice, who goes by No Malice now. And they used to be signed to Pharrell Williams' Star Trek label. Pharrell produced this song called What Happened to That Boy from that album. Allegedly, Birdman never paid Pharrell for the instrumental. And so there was a feud that kind of brewed from this between Pusha T, Pharrell, Lil Wayne, and Birdman. And they've never worked together again. They refused to work together. He's like, I'm never going to do it. He never paid me for that record. Drake decided to insert himself into this beef many years ago and decided that he was going to start taking shots at Pharrell, and in turn took shots at Pusha T. No Malice, he found God and retired from rap, so he doesn't do as much, and Pusha T is going on to have a very successful solo career. So Drake takes shots at Pusha T, takes direct shots at him a couple years ago, and Pusha T releases a record called The Story of Adidon, which outs Drake as a deadbeat dad.
Oh.
He releases the fact that he's got a kid somewhere that he's hiding, and so he outs his kid. So it's like really crazy, right?
That's kind of personal.
Yes.
Kind of personal, yeah.
Yes, and it's because
even Scarface left kids alone, you know?
Well, it's because the thing with this, and again, I'm not excusing behavior, just kind of giving you the timeline.
Right.
Drake took shots at Pusha T's girlfriend, or his fiance at the time, now his wife. So he was kind of like, well, if you're going to take shots at my family, I'm going to out you about your deadbeat dad status. So the whole internet, chumps Drake after this, and it's a whole thing. And while this is going on, Kendrick Lamar is taking shots and like very subliminally, and J. Cole is another rapper who's involved. And it really popped off last week, where Kendrick Lamar jumped on a record with another rapper named Future, and really lit the fuse on this. And so Kendrick takes this entire thing and releases multiple songs back to back to back over the course of last weekend. And one of those songs, he accuses him. Remember, guys, this is all alleged. He accuses him of grooming underage girls and calls him the P word on this record. And it's a dance record now. And the reason I bring this up to you is because the entire country is dancing to this record now, where they're calling Drake a fucking, I don't want to use the word here because I don't want to get a strike on YouTube. But they're accusing him of predatory behavior.
Does it end with Ussy?
No, it ends with edophile.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but the thing about this is everybody's like, oh, Kendrick can't, Kendrick, he makes these records that are too heavy, and like nobody, he never makes a dance record and he never does anything. And so he makes this record where it's like a dance record now. And I'm just going to play you a quick little sample because Kendrick removed all the
he wants people to hear it.
Yeah. And again, there's some coarse language in this. So just, be aware. There's words in here that we would never use, but just so you have an idea.
Of course. Yeah.
Let me see if you can hear this. Hold on one second.
I'm intrigued.
Here we go.
Psst, I see dead people.
What's that on that beat? Nope.
Aye, monster on the beat, ho, Debo, any rap nigga, he a free throw, man down, call like Amber Lambs, tell him breathe, bro, nail a nigga to the cross, he walk around like Tizo. What's up with these jabroni ass niggas trying to see Compton? They in the street can hate me, fuck them all and they mama. How many options you really got? I mean, it's too many options. I'm finna pass on this body, I'm John Stockton.
So deep. He's calling them
Beat
Karl
your ass and
Malone.
hide the Bible if God watching. Sometimes you gotta pop out and show niggas. Certified boogeyman, I'm the one that up to score with him. Walk him down whole time, I know he got some hoe in him. Pull on him, extort shit, bully the flow on him. Say Drake, I hear you like I'm young. You better not ever go to cell block 1. To any bitch that talk to
Like, he's just like... the entire internet is dancing to this record right now. And here's the one part. Let me skip ahead a little bit here. It's like this is like the really famous part of the song.
They tell me Chubb's the only one that get your hand-me-downs. And party at the party playing with his nose now. And Baca got a weird case, why is he around? Certified lover boys, certified pedophiles. Wop, 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 wop. That fuck 'em up. Wop, 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 wop. I'ma do my stuff. Why you trolling like a bitch? Ain't you tired? Trying to strike a chord and it's probably A minor. They not like us.
There are videos all over the internet of people dancing to this in clubs and restaurants and bars and stuff. So, yeah, it's the cultural moment of the year right now. It's the musical moment of the year right now. So I wanted to catch you up to speed on that.
As I raise my coffee cup to the lyrical mastery of what I have just heard.
But it's also, what's crazy is like, there's so much depth to what he's saying, right? Like, there's another, and I just like, as I kind of peel the layers back of this, like I'm finding out different things. Like Drake constantly compares himself to Michael Jackson about being like the greatest of all time and everything. So now, now Kendrick's like, oh yeah, sure, you're Michael Jackson. So he's making those insinuations, which again, allegedly Michael Jackson was accused of those things as well.
I don't think Michael Jackson did any of that shit.
Well, no. But again, like, he's been accused of that.
Dude thought he was Peter Pan. That's about it.
And he's like, oh yeah, well, he's definitely Michael Jackson. And one of the lines he says is Prince outlived Mike. And so, now he's like kind of connecting all these things. And one of the lines he says,
himself Prince.
What's that?
Lamar's aligning himself with Prince.
Correct. Yeah. So he looks at himself as Prince because there's that conversation where it's like, who's the better artist, right? In my opinion, as far as, and we've talked about this before, but as far as like an all-rounded artist, Prince has Michael Jackson in like droves,
I agree.
And that was his comparison is like, well, I have the Pulitzer and my records every time I open, Drake said some line about, Kendrick opened his mouth, give him a Grammy. And it was like, well, yeah, have you actually listened to his stuff? But then he's talking like these little jabs that he takes where he says, I'm blocking, he says something about John Stockton. And John Stockton used to, his foe on the basketball court was Karl Malone. Karl Malone was also accused of some pretty gnarly things with underage women. So it's like all these.
Oh, I wasn't aware of that.
There's all these little things, these little jabs, and like if you you have to go back and really listen to these songs. And now he's saying that there's a secret daughter that Drake had 11 years ago that they doesn't talk about, and it's like. It's just every time I turn around, like I was afraid to go to sleep last weekend because every time I would close my eyes, Twitter would go crazy. Muscle Man Malcolm would send me tweets like Drake's on it again. Like, oh Christ, I gotta listen to this record. But
now, smart me up.
Yep.
Where are these tracks released?
So most of them go onto YouTube because a lot of times when it comes to diss raps or records that people are rushing out.
It's more direct.
It's more direct, but they also beef is not when the release schedule is not as long as it used to be, right? Like back in the day, like with Jay-Z and Nas, Jay-Z released The Takeover. It was actually September 11th of 2001. That album came out that day, and it took Nas 3 months to actually physically respond to him because we didn't have the technology back then, right? Now it's like if somebody disses you, you got to come back within 12 hours or it's over. And, famously, there was the beef with Drake and Meek Mill a couple of years ago where Meek Mill got his ass handed to him. And now Drake is kind of getting a taste of his own medicine. So, and then there's also sample issues as well, right? Like one of the records that Kendrick put out was called 616 in LA. And there's an Al Green sample on that record. And they're working to try to clear that sample in order for it to get released on streaming services. But again, like we said, a lot of the records that were just released, like Kendrick, especially with this Not Like Us, he was like, fuck it, guys, play whatever you want. Do whatever you want with this record. I don't care. And it's already on streaming networks, or it's already on streaming platforms. And he's broken a significant, like, this is what's crazy, right? There's all kinds of records that Kendrick Lamar broke with this specific song. The biggest streaming day ever for a rap song in Spotify history. It got 12.8 million streams in one day.
Jesus.
One day, 12.8 million streams on Spotify alone. And he's got all kinds of 1 million. Yes, thank you. Understood that reference as well, Dr. Evil. But it's like there's all kinds of crazy things that are happening. And it's like, how do you, as a musician or an entertainer, come back from something like this? Like, that's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, where does he go? Like, everybody, LeBron James, they just took a video of LeBron James dancing in the club to them, going, certified lover boy, certified pedophile. And he's dancing to it. Like, what? You're done, man.
Was he mouthing the words to that?
No, he's just dancing. You can see him, like, dancing in the club.
Oh, okay.
But it's like, oh, man, you're fucked. Like, this is over, man. Like, hang it up, man. So, what's your take on the Kendrick Lamar Drake beef, man? That was
wow. Dude, it's funny you talk about like how it took forever back in the day to do it. It was a kind of, back in the day it was kind of like loading a musket.
Yeah.
And shooting it. Now it's just, let me just record this and upload it and there it is. But holy shit, like I'd heard about it, but like, my world isn't a bit like I listen to music, but like I'm still rocking out to old shit, in 90s hip hop and stuff like that too. So this current wave I'm not too familiar with, but and that's fucking brutal.
Yeah, the whole record's like brutal. That too. It just gets worse. And then
how many tracks are there?
So just from Kendrick alone, from just like in the span, like after Like That was released, which was the Future and Kendrick record, Kendrick released 4 in a span of like, I don't know, a week. 3 of them came out within like 24, 48 hours of each other. It was Euphoria, and then it was 616 in LA, and then it was a song called Meet the Grams where Kendrick basically like raps as if he's talking to Drake's son, and then raps as if he's talking to Drake's parents, and then outs Drake for being a father for for having an illegitimate daughter, and then starts speaking to him on this record. It's like one of the most brutal things I've ever heard, right? And then
I've heard that term, meet the grams.
So that's where that comes from. They were talking about how it's like, so in rap, right? Welcome to Professor Adams' class on hip hop, by the way. In rap,
please.
In rap beef, they considered there's like an upper echelon of like the craziest battle songs you've ever heard, right? Hit 'Em Up by Tupac is very famous for Biggie Smalls and a lot of East Coast rappers in general. Ether by Nas is considered, like 1B to Hit 'Em Up's 1A. I would even suggest, people have said this, the Pusha record I mentioned, it's called The Story of Adidon, where he outs Drake's son. But this Meet the Grams, they're saying, is like, I mean, it is so surgical and it's just so like over the top. You're like, it's very difficult to listen to and listen to him just really like, you can tell he just is not like that man, And then there's this Not Like Us, this dance record, which is now, in the club. So I would say total, which is like, imagine being in the club, right? Like, and Drake's just walking.
It's like a spoonful of sugar to help the medicine go down, man. You're going to take this medicine, but I'm going to do some sugar so it's easier for people to digest. So you give that dance beat and people are dancing to it, and then you hear the lyrics like, holy shit, he's fucking giving him that fucking medicine. And
he did that on purpose, man. That was because everybody was saying, oh, Kendrick can't do a rap record or can't do a dance record, can't do this. And, Kendrick's not in the club. All right, fuck you guys. I'm going to be in the club right now. And it's the biggest song. Yep. It's the fucking #1 dance song out there right now. It's on charting and shit. I think Drake released, well, that was the other thing. So he did a record called The Tailor Made Freestyle. And he took AI and recreated Tupac and Snoop Dogg's voices on this record.
Now, I heard about this.
Yes.
So what's that now?
So he took basically, so there's 3 verses on the record. And it's this freestyle by Drake, which is not actually a freestyle. Freestyle is something completely different. I don't know when rap started taking, freestyles and putting it as a song, but that's a different conversation for a different day. But so he takes AI, he modifies his voice, and he raps like he's Tupac Shakur, and then he raps like he is Snoop Dogg, and then uses AI to modify his voice to sound like them. So the estate of Tupac Shakur went fucking crazy. They sent him a cease and desist. Right. And they were like, the quote's right here. They said, the estate is deeply dismayed and disappointed by Drake's unauthorized use of Tupac's voice and personality. Not only is the record a flagrant violation of Tupac's publicity and the estate's legal rights, it is also a blatant abuse of the legacy of one of the greatest hip-hop artists of all time. The estate would never have given its approval for this use. So it was a very big, I heard it and I was like, this is one of the most disrespectful things I've ever heard in my life. It's
funny. I heard about this on the Dudesy podcast because, they're all into AI and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's where I learned about, how he used AI to digitize his voice to sound like that.
It's crazy. And it's like, it's not even like, you're not even disrespecting Kendrick anymore at this point. You're now disrespecting Tupac and an entire, the West Coast, they don't play out there, man. They fucking do not play. You're going to, it's unbelievable that he would think that this was a good idea. And so he got all kinds of cease and desist from Snoop Dogg and from the Tupac estate. And so they had to take it down. But yeah, it's been kind of taking over the news. And apparently there's more coming. There's more layers of this that are happening even now on Twitter. And I wanted to get the Meanie dance to the fucking Kendrick Lamar record. But Lucha says, can't stand either of them, but that shit was hard, bro. For real.
Yeah. I am learning today as you explain this. So today is a teachable moment.
Listen, man. Listen, I am that's one of the things, one of my favorite things in the world is hip hop, and when beefs like this happen, it's just it's crazy, man. Genuinely, because there are so many different layers, and Rick Ross is involved. There's all it's not just Kendrick and Drake. Rick Ross kind of kicked this off with another freestyle. And so it's just there's so many components and moving pieces here. And it's just the whole game is in flux. But get a chance, not like us. If you hear it at the club, break it down for us. Let us know what you think. Let us know what you think too. If you think, if you think Kendrick Lamar won or you don't live in reality and you think Drake won, that's neither here nor there, but you're wrong. Tweet us and let us know at Mind of the Meanie because we want to know. And actually,
yes, sir.
As a point of measure, call to order here, I want to know something too for you, if you may. I have a question for you.
Oh, what's that, sir?
Are you ready to ask Meanie?
I would love to. It's time to ask Meanie anything. Ask me something.
This is a drizzling shit.
I can't remember what regular air smells like.
Don't forget to tweet us your questions using the hashtag AskMeanie, and you may hear them asked on the program. Meanie, what do you got today to keep our mouths, our parched mouths wet?
No surprise, because I found 2 extra cases I forgot I bought at this. The Bellevue pumpkin pie seltzer. It is now May, and I am still drinking this.
Did you say you found 2 cases that you forgot you bought?
Yeah, they were in a ShopRite bag in a part of the house. I was like, oh shit, oh, 2 more pumpkin pies. Yeah. Well, fuck me. Fuck me running.
I found actually I grabbed today some of the cheap shit from Aldi. It's the orange mango flavor. I wanted to switch it up a little bit, so we're gonna give this a little spritz here in 3, 2, 1. There she is.
There we go.
So good. Pinkies up. Oh, yeah. Hey, Meanie, actually, before we get started, you might get lucky today. Remember I told you about my neighbor who lives next door who does the concerts for us every Wednesday and every Saturday at the same time? He's he's tuning up the band now. You may be able to hear him on our show today. So shout out to John next door.
Hopefully we won't get copyright strikes.
That's what I'm hoping for. I'm going to mute my mic while we talk about this. All right, here we go. Jason Knight wants to know, hey, Meanie, how do you like my suit?
Shout out to Jason Knight, ECW original. Great guy. Helped me a lot in ECW. If you ever watched early ECW when Jason was managing, in the Eastern days, his whole thing was like he'd wear these stylish suits and he'd be like, go up to Joey Styles and goes, "Hey, Joey, how do you like my suit?" And then Joey Styles would pretend like he was breaking out in hives. So yeah, shout out to Jason Knight. Thank you for partaking.
Our venerable friend Carlo Carlson. What up, dude? What's going on, man? We appreciate you. He says, hey, Blue and Goob. I just wanted to share that this evening he put a photo of you, your face placed over Al Bundy on the Polk High football card, and wanted to know if you played high school football.
I was allergic to the field. Yeah, I tried out my freshman year. I was doing pretty good, except for the grass made me have asthma attacks. My asthma was allergy induced. So, and it's a shame. Like I told the coach I couldn't do it anymore. He's like, "Man, that's a shame. You're doing really good." It's like, yeah, I can't breathe. So,
yeah.
But it is what it is. I tried.
Pod Squad member Vanessa Bello wants to know.
Hello, Vanessa.
WrestleMania 41 in Vegas on 4/19/4/20, which is also Easter Sunday. Shit's going to be lit for so many reasons and on so many levels. What are your thoughts about the Vegas change to the venue and also later in the month?
Excuse me. I wish they kind of would have did the later in the month for Philly.
Yeah.
Closer to May. But yeah, it's going to be crazy.
Yeah.
420 Easter in Vegas. It's going to the stock in Easter candy is going to go through the roof because so many people are going to have the fucking munchies.
Yo, Rob's going to make a fucking killing out there, man. Rob, you got to boot that shit back up, man. You're going to make a killing.
He's going to have his own version of Meanie Mania out there, man.
You won't even need to walk by. You won't even need to be in the room. You just walk by and you get a contact high. You'll be fine. Be fine
Brother,
for a week.
I got to figure out how to get out there, like get booked for WrestleCon out there or something, man.
Yeah, I'm going to be.
That'd be great.
I'll be out there. I'll be staying with Brad Feinberg, trainer extraordinaire. Me and Muscle Man Malcolm will be out there. You're welcome to join us. Brad's an incredible chef, and he's always cooking for us when we go. So we would love to have you. But I think we're going to be. I'm going to be seeing stars if I walk by Rob Van Dam that weekend. So,
nice.
Vanessa says people getting high on Jesus throwing lariats.
That's a fucking lyric if I ever heard one.
Sounds like an Action Bronson lyric.
Dude.
Oh my God.
That needs to be on a shirt.
Yeah, hey Schlichter, if you're listening, we need to mock that up with what Vanessa said. We need to get Rob Van Dam throwing a lariat on Jesus with a blunt. Yeah. Oh my God. Matt from Dover wants to know, hey Meanie, what's your favorite part about being the Blue Meanie and having the fans that you have?
Oh wow. The fact that it's 2024 and people still give a shit, there's thousands of wrestlers out there and, different talent levels, some better than me, that never got the chance to get some kind of notoriety. I'm not saying, I feel weird, talking about it, but, I know there's guys out there who, when I started with, I thought, we're going to make it big and never got the opportunity. And here I am, still being asked to do podcasts or still asked to do shows, still asked to do conventions. And like I said, Ad Freed's asking me to do mornings with Meanie. That's a big investment. So the fact that people still ask is pretty cool. I'm very fortunate, when the fact that we're sitting here with the Pod Squad who are so loyal to us and support us.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I've seen people start podcasts and never last past like 3 or 4 episodes, and they're like, fuck. Mm-hmm. Here we are, this episode 216.
Yeah.
And I'm so pissed that we missed that I'm so pissed we missed pointing out that last week's episode was 215.
Oh, shit.
That's a Philadelphia area code,
Yeah. Yeah, we missed it. I missed the boat on that one.
That should be the episode, episode 216. Last week was 215,
Or 215 plus 1.
Yeah. But, dude, just, it's cool to be a Philly guy in the wrestling world, still doing stuff and having people who are considerate to things I have to say.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate you. We appreciate you doing the show with us each and every week. And we are glad to have you here to ask these questions. So don't forget, if you have questions for Meanie, tweet them at us using the hashtag AskMeanie, and you may hear them on the program. And we will be back next week, same bat time, same bat channel. Meanie, I want to thank you for doing the show here every week. And I want to know, where can people keep up on all things blue when they're not listening to the program?
If you would like to follow the Blue Meanie on all forms of social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Blue Meanie BWO on all forms of social media. If you would like to support the Blue Meanie, go to prowrestlingtees.com/Blue Meanie. If you would like to support Mind of the Meanie, go to prowrestlingtees.com/Mind of the Meanie. Collar and Elbow, the wrestling brand, go to collarandelbowbrand.com. Use coupon code Meanie or use coupon code MIND and save 10% over there at collarandelbowbrand.com. If you're in the Philly area, go to JPT's for your t-shirt print needs. JPT's is a family-owned business that has been making quality printed t-shirts since 1986. For more information, go to jptees.com. That's the letter J, the letter P, TEES.com, jptees.com. MadCatBeardCare.com for the Blue Spruce Beard Oil and Balm. Shout out to my boy Josh Thornton over there at MadCatBeardCare.com. Doing an amazing job rounding up all the sick kitties in this neighborhood, taking them to the vet and releasing them back into the wild. Way better than he found them. So if you're a cat lover like myself, go to MadCatBeardCare.com. The Ultra Pro Wrestling video game coming to all major consoles in 2024. The Ultra Pro Wrestling video game contains not only original characters created by the amazing Hal Haney, but many real-world wrestlers, including myself and many others I'm trying not to spoil. Go to ultraprowrestling.com or follow them on Twitter at UPW Video Games. That's ultraprowrestling.com or UPW Video Games on the Twitter. Figure collections, Bone Crushing Wrestling Series 1 variants of the Blue Meanie are available now. All Series 1s can be ordered now at shop.figurecollections.com. Type Blue Meanie in the search bar. Type Blue Meanie in the search bar. Get the regular Blue Meanie or BWO Blue Meanie. Either way, there's no wrong choices. To have the Blue Meanie on your podcast, go to podstars.net. That's PODSTARZ.net. Register your podcast, book the Blue Guy, and let's have a conversation over at podstars.net. Cameo.com/Blue Meanie BWO for birthdays, holidays, and well wishes. Go to cameo.com/Blue Meanie BWO and let's make somebody's day a little bit brighter. Book through the site. Please don't book through the app. The app takes way too much money over there at cameo.com/Blue Meanie BWO. But most importantly, right now, Mr. Barnard, Where can people find you, sir?
Well, we appreciate that. Thank you very much, sir. You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and Threads. You can find me at This Is Goober. Yes, it's my handle. No, I'm not changing it. It's a brand, pal. So you can find me there. And you can look and stay up to date with all things that are happening. If you want more information and more knowledge on this hip-hop beef or anything else I have going on, you can find me there. You can also listen to my other show, Foundation Radio, by going to foundationradio.net or subscribing on YouTube at youtube.com/at Foundation Radio Pod. I'm currently uploading all of my old audio and video archived podcast episodes, including this week I've uploaded Rob Van Dam, Eric Bischoff, Robert Costa, and Ernie Hudson is also up there as well. So go ahead and take a look at foundationradio.net. The Feinberg Method, go to thefeinbergmethod.com. Use promo code Goober and save up to 20% off your entire purchase. My trainer, Brad Feinberg, is ready to help you with your mental and physical well-being. So go and take a look right now at feinbergmethod.com. Shout out to the homies at the 10th Ward Barbershop in downtown Lawrenceville on the outskirts of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Go over there and ask for Kane and Jordan and the rest of the team. And get yourself a haircut and a beard cut by the homies there. Tell them Goober sent you. Schedule your appointment today at 10thwardbarbershop.com. ProWrestlingTees.com/Foundation Radio. ProWrestlingTees.com /Mind of the Meanie. Pick up a shirt and keep the lights on at Casa DeMeanie and the Barnard home for wayward and troubled youth. We want to thank you for being here and listening to the show. Don't forget, we are an official brand partner with WWEshop.com, and the link for the show's page is in the show notes. So go click on that, pick up a shirt, and support the show and support WWE. You can also subscribe today at patreon.com/Mind of the Meanie. Tiers start at just $10 a month. Go and subscribe to our YouTube page, youtube.com/@Mind of the Meanie. We have lots of great content and good stuff coming, but only if you're a subscriber. And we will be rolling stuff out to you very soon for exclusive content from the Blue Guy and maybe the Goob Guy if you're interested. I'm happy to do anything you'd like to. But I want to thank Carl Pinnell, a.k.a. Chet American Man, for assisting with the show today. Carl, I'm not sure where that name came from, but that is what we're going to do, and we're going to salute you, Chet American Man, each and every week. So we thank you. Thank you for listening. Tell a friend. Tell an enemy. Tell somebody you meet at WoW. I'll be like, yo, asshole, listen to the show. It's very good. So we appreciate you. For the Blue Meanie, I am Adam Barnard. Join us again each and every week as we take a trip through the mind of the Meanie. Peace.
This episode of Mind of the Meanie is hosted and executively produced by the Blue Meanie and Adam Barnard. It was mixed and engineered by Carl Pinnell. Additional narration is provided by the executive voice, Sam Krebs. That's me. Our intro music was performed by the Swamp Candles. Our outro music was performed by Chikara. Additional musical accompaniment is performed by Enrichment. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter, or X or whatever, at Mind of the Meanie, and become part of the Pod Squad by going to patreon.com/Mind of the Meanie. Find our entire show archive at mindofthemeanie.com. This has been a Butts Carlton media production. Butts Carlton, proprietor.
Blue World Order.
That was Blue Meanie's brain out.